In the headlines, Shekarau defects to PDP after 3 months in NNPP. Reactions trail ASU's indefinite strike action. Court dismisses federal government's application to extradite Kyari to the United States. And on the foreign and South African prosecutors arrest ex-Transnet officials in Zuma case. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Nten Ekpan. And on the news in full, former governor of Kano State Ibrahim Shekarau has formally announced his defection from the New Nigeria People's Party, the NNPP, to the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This is coming barely 3 months after Shekarau defected to NNPP from the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Shekarau made the declaration on Monday at his home in Kano. He was formally received into the PDP by the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the party's national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, among other bigwigs. Shekarau also said he had written to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to announce his withdrawal from the senatorial race for Kano Central under the NNPP. Prominent PDP members at the event included former Vice President Namadi Sambo, the party's BOT chairman Walid Jibrin, former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido, and Senator Dino Melaye. PDP faithful defied the downpour to witness the event in the commercial city. Of Delta State House of Assembly, Oborewere Sharif as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for the state in the 2023 general elections. The appellate court voided this and set aside the judgment of Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court, which had on July 7 nullified his nomination on grounds of certification forgery and perjury. Justice Peter Ige, who delivered that judgment, held that claims against the Speaker are criminal in nature and must be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. He also held that Mr. David Edevie, who instituted the Federal High Court suit, ought to have approached the court through a writ of summons to enable the resolution of disputes and not by originating summons where only affidavit evidence is required. Justice Ige therefore affirmed the victory of the Speaker in the May 25 primary election, where he polled 590 votes to defeat Edevie, who scored only 113 votes to come second. Members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, on Monday declared indefinite strike. The academics made the resolution during the National Executive Council meeting, which began at about 12:15 a.m. at the University of Abuja. And similarly, pressure groups are made up of like-minded individuals whose main aim is to influence government policies to their favor. One of the major ways or strategies in which they use to influence government policies is strike, which is a strategy ASU has been using in the last 7 months to get government to address their demands. In this report, Noel Sampson brings us the reactions of parents and students concerning the industrial action, which has metamorphosed from warning strikes to an indefinite one, as announced by the union on Monday, 29th of August. The report.
Nigerians were on Monday again greeted with the news breaking from the stables of ASU concerning the continuation of the ongoing industrial action, which has lasted for 6 months due to government failure to meet up with their demands. They claim to have had deadlock meetings with government officials, hence the industrial action has to continue until government yields to their demands. As expected, parents whose children have been home for over a year have been reacting to the latest news.
It's disgusting. For upward 7 months now, students have been home. Their future has been kind of delayed, because there's nothing doing. The parents are anxious to go, and government doesn't seem to care about it.
I believe this strike has lingered for too long. Nigeria has never had it so bad. And if you look at the education sector, it has to be overhauled. Gabadea. sincerely speaking, the architectural, what's it called, the structure, the educational structure has to be overhauled. This is a country we live in. We have a minister of education. 5 months, 6 months, getting to 7 months, and now they are extending again.
The students who are at the receiving end also lent their voices to the new development.
Well, the ASUU strike is actually causing delay for me right now because now I'm actually my final year, but I can't graduate because of them. I'm still at home doing nothing, thinking they will call it off very soon, but they are not saying anything about it. So I want the government to call it off all the time so I can graduate, and because I have other plans to do, but this strike now is delaying me.
The government have placed an age for people that will go and serve. Imagine being at home for how many years, and then they'll now come and expect you not to forge your age to serve. I do think it's unfair. We have to be sincere to ourselves as Nigerians. We have to care about this because people don't really care about us. All I can say is that I want the government to at least have mercy on us because their kids are not in this country. I'm very sure that almost 100% of them are not in this country. Even though they're in this country, they're either in a private school. My sincere is that the government should please have mercy on us. Like, just have mercy. Let the people just go.
Despite their frustration and anger, they still appeal to government to address the issue of contention to enable them return to school.
And government should be gracious enough to let the schools back by all means.
So I really like the government to just have mercy on us and find solution to it. Because I believe that in every solution, any problem, there's a solution to it.
Nigerians are optimistic that both the government and the union will come to an agreement and end the lingering industrial action. Noah Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Terrorists operating around Jibia, Batsari and Safanaraxes in Katsina State are coming under heavy military attacks, forcing them to change tactics and positions. The terrorists are moving towards Funtua, Bakori and Danjaraxes, where the hitherto have been peace. Abdullahi Yamadi has an update on some recent terrorist attacks in Katsina State.
Kidnappers in their hundreds stormed Bakori Saturday night and abducted 7 members of the family of one Muntari Manajang Samaru. Although the terrorists were pursued by members of the vigilante and some soldiers, they managed to escape with their victims. And 3 days ago, on Friday to be precise, they killed 1 person and abducted 7 at Bari village of Danja local government area. But 3 of the victims managed to escape unhurt. While hiding in a farm in the evening of that fateful day before they struck Bari village, a Fulani woman who stumbled on them was said to have been gang raped to death. Similarly, about 3 days ago, the bandits invaded Kurami village of Bakori local government, about 6 kilometers from Bakori on Bakori-Funtua road. Here, they went away with 3 children, and on that same day, they released another victim from the same village who was kidnapped twice. Before then, the terrorists invaded a small Fulani settlement just outside Bakori town, killing 2 people according to accounts. But another interesting story just coming in is that 3 out of the 7 abducted persons from the family of Muntari Manajan Samaru had been released. Those released are Muntari's wife together with her twin children. According to Muntari's wife, Fatima, the kidnappers had no choice but to release her when they realized that she reached a point where she could no longer walk after walking for hours in the rain and crossing about 5 rivers along the way. She, however, left behind 2 of her children, 2 girls and a boy who are still with the kidnappers. So this is the second time the bandits are attacking Bakori town in 1 year. The first one was when they abducted the former NBC director Ahmed Abdelkader and his daughter Leila.
Sani Koje, father of Farid Asani, the female students of Federal Government College, Birnin Yori, who is one of the 15 students still in the hands of bandits, has called on the Kebbi and federal government to seek military assistance from other countries to free the young boys and girls who are still being held by the bandits for a year now since they were kidnapped from their school. The students were taken to a forest in Zamfara State by Dogo Giade, a notorious bandit since last year. Hamza Galadima Zuru has more on that report.
Farida, a student of the Federal Government College Birnin Yauri, was kidnapped exactly 1 year ago together with over 60 other students of the school when bandits raided the educational institution sometimes last year. Since then, most of the students have been released, while Farida and about 13 other girls are still in captivity, with their plight swept under the carpet, unlike the cases of other kidnapped girls such as Leah Sharibu, whose names are always in the news. The plight of the SS3 students may not be getting adequate publicity or attention it needs, but the family of Alhaji Sani Kaoji, a farmer businessman, can never forget the ever-vibrant Farida in a hurry, with her memory dominating their thoughts on a daily basis.
Gaskiya in totality bakin ciki ya lullube mu.
Honestly, I am depressed. The whole family is always depressed, day and night. The government did not show any concern at all.
Gwamnati bata kula ba.
Alhaji Sani Kaoji, the father of Farida, was lost to words as to why the government, both federal and state in Kebbi, decided to treat the case of Farida in such a carefree manner. He pointed out that apart from the initial visit to the family by the Kebbi State Governor and the Emir of Yauri, there was no such gesture from the federal government or the Federal Ministry of Education.
An san shi gwamna.
I know that initially the governor tried to secure the release of the first and second batch of remaining students left to their fate in the hands of bandits. They should know that these children are also Nigerians and entitled to all privileges of citizens of Nigeria.
He said the government should just accept defeat and seek for military assistance from elsewhere if the Nigerian security forces cannot do the job of protecting lives and property of the people of Nigeria. Alhaji Sani Kaoji further said there is nothing to be ashamed of, if only to save Nigerians from further torment and disgrace. Alhaji Sani Kaoji further explained that Farida is the 15th child out of the 19 children he has, and she was a very quiet, brilliant and devoted Muslim who was always striving to make her parents happy. Hamza Galadima Zuru reporting from Birnin Kebbi for Trust TV News.
The newly posted Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State, Kolo Yusuf, has assured the residents of the state of unalloyed commitment to the protection of lives and property of the citizens. A statement by the Police Command's Public Relations Officer Mohammed Shehu said the Commissioner of Police, who resumed the command on Monday, August 29, is seeking support and collaboration of the people to tackle crimes and criminality in the state. He warned all criminal elements to renounce their criminal activities and repent or face dire consequences. And there was tension at the Kuje Correctional Center as inmates early Monday protested the death of their colleague. The unrest was triggered following the death of the inmate who was allegedly not giving prompt medical attention. Meanwhile, some inmates attempted to escape from the facility amidst the tension but were prevented by the warders. Officials of the prison confirmed the death of the inmate. You're watching News Update on Trust Television. Coming up after the break, how graduate train youths and minors in local trade. Please stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust TV's news update, a recap of our major stories so far. Shekarau defects to PDP after 3 months in NMPP. And reactions trail ASU's indefinite strike action. Moving to other stories now, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has dismissed a suit filed by the federal government seeking the extradition of a suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Abba Kyari to the United States for trial in an alleged internet fraud. The trial judge, Justice Yang Akwo, while delivering his judgment on Monday, said the dismissal is due to a pending court case filed by the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA. Justice Akwo submitted that Section 3 of Nigeria's extradition law forbids the country to extradite a criminal when there is a pending case against them. He therefore ruled that the suit was brought in bad faith and was dismissed. Fire has gutted a gas plant near the Redemption Camp in Mowe bus stop in the Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. The spokesperson for the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Nosa Okumbo, confirmed the incident. Reports say the explosion caused panic in the area as residents and workers at various institutions within the area ran to keep safe. The fire started at about 10:30 a.m. as the plant exploded close to the Redemption Camp and around the police station situated at the camp. The skills of sewing using sacks and other leather products is not common in most communities. In this report, Abubakar Abdullahi visited a local sack sewing factory in Lafia, Nasarawa State, where an NCE graduate is leading a group of youths and minors to earn a living. The report.
Angwan Makama, where this local sack sewing factory is located, is one of the oldest areas in Lafia, the capital of Nasarawa State, and the most workers here are people who are born and brought up in the area. Mohammed Ubangari, an NCE graduate, is the head of this factory. He said he started learning the trade of sack sewing when he could not find a job after graduation. He said the trade has, however, been rewarding financially, adding that though the trade is not common, he has a quite number of youths and children who are working under him. He spoke extensively on the activities taking place in the factory.
We're getting our own customers, they have brought it for us, we buy it, and some others they also brought their own, we also saw it. And even in our own these premises, we saw it and sell it for who need it. We get many customers from some villages and some the part of the boundaries of the Nasarawa State they are buying. Even some people they live in the Benue State, they are buying this thing and spread this thing during some of the dry seasons. Even the rainy season, some they are covering their own materials. They don't want the water they are touching.
He said the trade has been in existence for over 20 years and many have benefited from the proceeds of the business.
It is the work who also get a benefit because I use this work to assist myself in my own tertiary educations in college education Akwanga and assist myself with this work. And I didn't marry bait. I get many benefits in this work since I started this working. Why? Because I joined my own educations, joined my own life. I can't bother myself to need a government workers. No, I enjoy this work till my own ending of the life.
He then called on the government and other stakeholders to assist them with industrial machineries to be able to produce in large quantity and faster.
Road ethics or safety rules are guidelines put in place to protect road users, be it pedestrians, cyclists, or motorists. But how many users are aware of the conventions, and if they are, how many practice them? In this report, Chiamaka Nwafo takes a look at the road ethics for pedestrians in particular. The report.
The road is a space consisting of many users who sometimes, if not most, will interface with each other. The motorist, who has to drive with the pedestrian and cyclist in mind, and vice versa. There are rules to help keep everyone safe and bring accidents to the barest minimum. To mention a few, use of pavement or suitable footpaths where provided. Walk on the left side of the road facing oncoming traffic where footpaths are not provided. Before you cross a road, look left, right, and look left again. When the road is clear, walk directly and quickly across while still looking out. Use a zebra or pedestrian crossing. There are many of these conventions which even children should be aware of. But how well do pedestrians know the road ethics put in place to safeguard them?
When crossing the road, we should always look left and right. We should always look to see if the traffic lights are the colors like green, red, yellow. When crossing the road, we should always follow the zebra crossing, not like where the cars pass.
I don't know what road ethics are.
I know about traffic lights. When it turns green or red, you should stop. If you are using the pedestrian, I can identify those ones. But I think it's more than that, so I'm not proud to say I don't know. I want to learn.
I know that some pathways like this are made for pedestrians, and also if you are to cross the road, you need to cross where there's a zebra crossing. But maybe unfortunately, no. Some of us don't know this. Even some drivers, when you get to the zebra crossing, that's when they will speed up.
Is there a need to enforce these conventions, and what agency should do that? Certainly not the FRSC, if the SCT sector commander is to go by. He says though the Corps is saddled with the safety of all road users, its core mandate is to the motorist.
Road safety is a collective responsibility. Now, if you look at the Act establishing the road safety, the Act gives power to the Road Safety Corps in the area of vehicular movement. The road safety as an organization does not have the power to arrest individuals.
Nevertheless, the education of pedestrians on road ethics is a work in progress.
A sensitization of Nigerians on road ethics is a work going on, and we still have so much to do, but so much is being done to ensure that people get to know what they are supposed to do while they're on the road.
A lot has been said about road safety without any clear-cut agenda holding pedestrians responsible about protecting themselves on the road. Sadly, there are too many agencies on the road duplicating functions on the same space, and most of the time, not even doing the job right. Chiama Kanwafo, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Amidst the current economic hardship triggered by inflation in the country, pensioners are among the set of people that are mostly affected. And Trust TV speaks to a 66-year-old retired civil servant on the effect of the current economic realities. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Muhammad Aliyu Korau is a 66-year-old. He retired from the local education authority in Gombe State after 35 years of service, but is yet to receive his gratuity. Korau said life has been difficult as a retiree. I suffered a lot when I reached my retirement. They stopped my salary and my pension was not coming. I struggled for 1 year, 6 months. I resorted to begging to cater for my family. There is delay in the payment of pension. The pension used to delay for 3 to 4 months, pushing me to collecting loans. One will be wondering whether to repay the loan or buy food. Korau said the plight of pensioners will affect productivity of civil servants who are still in service and not the authorities to cater for the welfare of pensioners who gave their best to public service at their prime. Non-payment of gratuity, pension and other benefits will discourage civil servants and make them to be thinking of what will happen to them. That is why others loot billions. A person will loot money that can pay millions of workers. In 2019, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya of Gombe State paid the sum of 1.097 billion naira to settle outstanding gratuity for retirees under the state civil service. Similarly, at the beginning of the year 2022, the Gombe State government paid 755 million naira for the payment of the second tranche of the backlog of gratuity owed to 2015 retirees in the state. The Inuwa Yahya administration said it inherited over 14 billion naira backlog of pension and gratuities for the state and local government retirees when it came to power in 2019. This, many believe, is why some retirees like Korau are yet to be paid. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Prosecutors have arrested several former executives at public logistics company Transnet, which is at the center of a high-profile investigation into corruption during Jacob Zuma's tenure as president. On Monday, South Africa's National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA, said Transnet's former chief executive officers Brian Molefe and finance chief Arnold Singh were among 4 people held in connection with a multi-million-dollar corruption case. And with that story, we've come to the end of News Update this hour. There will be more in the next hour. For more, you can join us and contact us all through our social media platforms. Thank you very much for watching. I am Inten Epang. Bye-bye.